Hi, I'm Carla Butorac and welcome to Behavior Communicates. Have you ever had a parent come to you with concerns about their child's fluency, or do you have concerns about your own child's repetitions and other disfluent behaviors? I've had parents consult with me and one of my own children was temporarily disfluent at one point. Two things to consider here. One, are the repetitions easy whole word or whole phrase repetitions, or are the sounds actually hard for the child to get out? Two, do you see any signs of what we call secondary characteristics of stuttering, like physical movements that the child uses to help get the word out, like squeezing their eyes shut or jerking their head or moving some sort of body part? Two of my friends, for example, asked me about their boys who were demonstrating some disfluent speech. The first friend was noticing that her young son was not only repeating words and short phrases like I and I want, but he was starting to struggle to talk. I asked her to describe to me what she did when her son spoke to her, and she told me that she would often ask him to hurry up and tell her what he wanted because there was a new baby in the house and she didn't have a lot of time to listen patiently. After more questioning, I discovered that because this little guy was active and noisy, Mom was shushing him several times a day. Shh! What started out as normal whole word or whole phrase repetitions had started to move towards secondary characteristics of stuttering, and in his case, eye closing accompanied by a hard onset of a word. For example, instead of an easy repetition of a word like I, this little guy was starting to open his mouth and nothing was coming out until he forced it out while closing his eyes like this. I explained to her that it was part of normally developing language for a child to have simple whole word, whole phrase repetitions, but that she might be actually contributing to his disfluent speech because he had the added stress to hurry up and say what he needed to say due to her limited attention, and the fact that she was hushing him up throughout the day. I had two suggestions for her. One, give him as much time to speak as he needed, and two, discontinue the practice of shushing him. I suggested a quiet reading time or some fun, relatively quiet time making a craft or cooking during nap time for the baby. She could always schedule louder play for her son either later or earlier in the day. That way she wouldn't have to worry about as much noise in the house or noise levels in the house, much less shushing. My second friend had a son who was displaying all the normal whole word, whole phrases repetitions with no hard onsets or secondary characteristics. This friend and her husband are both well educated. She was a teacher and he's a lawyer. While parents in general are concerned about their children's speech and language development, it's quite common for well-educated parents to become concerned about the fluency when their children are young. I gave her these 4 things to do. 1, don't call attention to the disfluency in any way. 2, continue to look at her son and listen to him as he was speaking. In other words, do not look away when the disfluency occurs. 3, don't tell him to slow down and take his time. And 4, do not tell him to hurry up and finish. I told her that eventually the frequent excessive disfluent speech would become typical disfluent speech that we all have. We all repeat words or say things like, you've seen it in this video and in others. These things make our speech disfluent, but within socially accepted parameters. In the case of my own child, I did all 4 things I just mentioned, and it actually took a year for her disfluent speech to normalize. I kept wondering how long it was going to take for this stuff to get over. But I stuck with the plan, I stuck with the program, and just made sure I didn't cause her disfluent speech to turn into something more serious. My message here for you today is to just be aware of what is perfectly normal for a young child to do and to make sure you're not adding to the child's stress levels as he or she attempts to navigate language and communication skills. Thank you for joining me here at Behavior Communicates. Remember, the more we know about how to help the child or the students we love, the better quality of life they will have. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and share it with a parent, friends, co-workers. If you haven't signed up yet for Behavior Communicates, get on over there and sign up. You'll get my weekly blog and video and other resources and information that I only share with my subscribers. Take care, and I'll see you next time.